Welcome to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. My special guest today from the United Way, Andrea Spires, who is the Director of Community Impact.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm
Thanks
excited
for being
to be
here today.
Yeah.
I mean, we're glad you're here. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Lots of
You
stuff.
got a lot of stuff. Now, how long have you been in this position?
So not very long.
Not very long.
So yeah, just November. So I'm still new,
Newbie.
still learning. Yeah.
Yeah. There's just United Way has grown, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Talk a little bit about some of the history of United Way, the agencies you serve, the number of agencies.
Yeah. So we actually been around since 1940 in Fairfield County, so quite a while. Right now, we currently we fund 23 different agencies throughout Fairfield County. So here in Lancaster, in Canal Winchester, Pickerington. So all over the county, different ways and different types of services that these agencies provide.
Can companies sign up? I mean, not companies, but agencies. Do they have to go through a process or?
Yeah, so we have a grant process that agencies can apply to. That's typically they fill out their grant application in January, and then we kind of review those and we meet with our councils. Are you familiar with our councils? So we have income, education, and health. And so those councils are made up of community members who kind of review the applications, go out and do site visits, spend a lot of time. They put a lot of time and effort, and they work really hard to make sure that we're funding agencies that really need our help.
Right.
And then after they go out and do those visits, they make recommendations about how much they would approve them for, or if they would be approved. And then that goes to our board, and then the board makes the final decision.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What was the thing that surprised you the most when you got involved?
So many different things. I just didn't realize all the different things that United Way does and how many different ways there are to do different things throughout the community. Writing grants, I wasn't familiar with that before, so I've got to do a lot of that since I started. And just how involved we are and how much more we want to get involved in the community.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like youth mentoring and daycare and things like that. Let's talk about some of those things.
Yeah, so we are, like I said, the bold goals are education, income, and health. So in education, we have the youth mentoring with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We fund Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. There's the Project Wise in Pickerington, and the junior highs in Pickerington, junior highs. And that's a really great program that kind of just helps kids that might need a little extra help and helps them learn study skills and different things that would help them be successful. And then in income, we have our different agencies, such as like the Red Cross that does like disaster relief, and armed services, which I didn't know anything about that, but the armed services is where like if they need to get in communication with someone overseas or someone in the military, they take care of that, which is really kind of cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, and then that is also where our food pantries are, our homeless shelters, the foundation dinners, that kind of thing. And then health would be the free clinic, the By the Way free clinic. Also the Family Y, they have the agency memberships, and then a lot of adult day services, because that's really a growing need here in the community and also like throughout the the nation.
Oh, absolutely. You just had the Day of Action downtown.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was great. That was fun. My first year of doing the Day of Action. Beth Kraft, she is the one that coordinated all that. She put a lot of time and effort into that on our staff. This year we were going to try to have it at Miller Park. However, we've had a lot of rain, so we did not have it at Miller Park, but we had it back downtown, and it was a really great event. We think we had between 500 and 600 people come downtown.
Wow.
So we were really happy with the turnout, especially with the change of location last minute. We had a lot of great partnerships with that. A lot of different organizations came and brought different activities for the kids. Free Chi was there. They gave out over 400 grilled cheeses that day, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I missed that, but that's okay.
They ran out, so you wouldn't have had a chance, I guess.
Now if somebody wants to get involved in that next year, what do they do? A phone number or
Yeah,
website?
they can give us a call at 740-653-0643, or they can go on our website at www.uafairfieldco.org. And that will let them kind of get a hold of us, find our email, and just let us know how we can partner with them.
Is it now when you go through that? It's your first one, so
Yeah.
are you thinking, okay, we can do this next year, we can do this next year, and did you go back and tell Scott we got all sorts of things
That's
we're
right.
going to
We've
do?
got lots of ideas. Yeah, we're always trying to grow it and to make it even better every year. It's been a really great thing that they put on for many years, but there's always ways to incorporate more activities and more volunteers and more kiddos.
Is that unique to Fairfield County? Do other counties do the other
So,
United Way agencies? Or is
yeah. Day of Action is a United Way activity,
Okay.
but a lot of different United Ways do it in different ways. Sometimes it's kind of like our community care day. They go out and do service projects.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of how they want to interpret it. So ours is a day for kids to come out and play, but it could be really anything to just get out and get community involvement.
So what are ideas for next year? Are we gonna, you know?
I think we're going to stick with our kiddo event, you know, making sure that there's a lot of activities for them just to keep busy and play outside rather than being at home. You know, a lot of kids are probably on their video games. We want to just show them that there's a lot of things to do other than that and get outside and play.
So there's no truth to the rumor there's gonna be a dunk tank and we're gonna have
Well, you know, maybe
elected officials.
That's a thought. We can work on that one. Would you like to be in the dunk tank?
Yeah. I would sink to the bottom, believe me. And there's a lot, I mean, one of the things that you get involved in is the tax program.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was not super familiar with the tax program before I started. I knew it was there, I knew it was a service, but I didn't realize how big it was. I did not know how busy it would get in our office. I did not know how many people needed that service. Because, you know, taxes are complicated and people, you know, they just work their job and they do what they need to do, but they're not really sure how to file those taxes every year. So we did over 1,500 tax returns this year in our office. We have a location at our office in Lancaster, and then we also did a day at Pickerington Public Library once a week, just trying to make sure we're getting service in different parts of the county. But we have our two really great staff people that are in charge of that program. They're part-time during the tax season.
Who's that?
That would be Barb Stanford and Sheila, I lost her name,
That's
last name,
okay.
but yeah, Sheila, they're great, and they work really hard and make sure that our program is really successful. We're just trying to continue to grow it and seeing if maybe there's another way to serve that many people, because unfortunately we had to turn down some people, and we don't want to do that.
Is there a waiting list, or how do people?
So we have appointments and we have drop-offs, and once they're full, then we can't accept anymore. So we're looking at a different location or a different way to service those people. Maybe offer, come in and do your taxes yourself on a computer, and then we'll kind of be there as a backup. So maybe that's a way to get more people to do their taxes without us having to be hands-on as much. And also helping them learn that life skill without maybe not having to need us next year.
No, that would be, yeah, that's, is there a charge, I'm sorry, is there a charge for it?
It's all free.
Right.
Yeah, it's just based on, so you can only make up to, each year it changes a little bit, but around $55,000, so it's income-based, and it's also age-related, so anyone over age 60 can come in and get their taxes done as well. So we get grants through the IRS to provide that service, so we follow those requirements based on that from them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What, I mean, you're always looking to the future for the United Way. Some things that are gonna come up down the road?
Well, since I'm still new, we're kind of status quoing a lot of the activities, but we want to grow them. That's our main goal, I think, is growing them. I don't think we necessarily have any new projects right off the top of my head, but we definitely want to get out there involved with more workplace campaigns and more businesses and more partnerships. I'm involved with a lot of the coalitions here in the county, some of them that you're on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're always just trying to see what the needs are out there, and if there's a need that's not being met by somebody else, we want to be open to that.
What about grants? Talk about grants.
Yeah, so like I said, I've learned a lot about grants since I started. I had not written any. But
Aren't they fun?
They are fun, yeah. Some of them are easier, some of them are a little more complicated.
I remember one of the first ones I wrote. I mean, I wrote pages and pages. I typed them.
Yeah.
And then I saw when I got done that 2-page limit.
Oh, no.
It was
Yeah,
bad.
they all have different requirements, that's for sure. Luckily, Scott Spangler, who was in my position before me, left a lot of notes, so I used those to help me along the way, and kind of added, subtracted, and kind of made it my own. And we've received a lot of grants so far this year. I'm really proud and excited about that to help continue a lot of the programs that we offer.
Where did you get some of the grants from?
So the Fairfield County Foundation is a really great supporter of the United Way. South Central Power, their Roundup grant, they're really wonderful to work with. We also have gotten, Gordon Flesh is one of our newer grants that we've received. We were just notified a few weeks ago that we're going to get a grant from them for our Feeding Our Future program.
Super.
And then the PNC Martins Trust is another one that we received this year.
Well, that's fantastic.
So yeah, a lot of great grants to help continue a lot of the wonderful programs that we offer.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a lot to do. One of the, I know that fundraising obviously is a lot to do, and food involves fundraising.
Yes, it does.
Talk a little bit about some of the fundraising activities you're going to have coming
Yeah, so I've been trying to work on different ways to raise funds for these programs, just something a little different. So I've worked with Chipotle in Raising Cane's, and we've had some fundraising nights. I'm sure you're familiar. A lot of
Yeah.
organizations do that. So they started off small, but we're hoping to keep try that down the road, and maybe work with other restaurants or other types of fundraisers to continue to get funds coming in that way.
So you think the new Chipotle out on East Main will help out?
I mean, yeah, you know what? That's a great idea because it's going to be probably pretty busy, I would imagine,
I
when it
would
first
say
opens. So
Yeah.
that might be a
I've
good
never
one.
seen a Chipotle not busy.
That's very true.
I mean, I
You
just,
always have to wait in a line at a
yeah.
Chipotle.
I walked in one day and it was out on Memorial Drive, out and around.
Oh my gosh,
I thought, this is too much.
it's popular.
Yeah,
That's for
and
sure.
a lot of people, I figured out that if you call ahead of time and do it you just go pick it up. These people are walking by me getting their food, and I thought, okay.
Yeah, they figured out the easy way.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of donations from companies? Do you get them?
We do. We're really lucky to be supported by a lot of local companies. Throughout the county, we have our workplace campaign, but also a lot of them donate to those specific programs that we run, such as Dolly's Imagination Library and Feeding Our Future. We also work with like Rotary and Kiwanis. They're really great supporters. For example, I'm in Kiwanis, so I have to toot
I'm
them
in
a little
Rotary.
bit. Yeah, I know. Well, we got a problem there.
I know.
But the past few years, Kiwanis has worked with, when Scott was the community impact director, and filling up those bags where the kids get a bag of food to take home over the weekend. So we just try to get community involvement, and it's really great that we have all these different organizations. Even if Kiwanis and Rotary are a little bit of a rival, it's great that we all work together.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the campaign just for a second. Do you keep track of the number of people that donate? I mean, is it?
So we have a system that we input all of our donors into. I'm not familiar with the number that we have, but it definitely fluctuates, and we're really just lucky. Our United Way has done very well. Sometimes other United Ways throughout the United States and abroad
Right.
have kind of seen a decline, which we have seen a little bit of a decline, but nothing compared to some of the other United Ways.
others,
So we're really supported throughout the county.
We talk about always free professional training. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so a lot of teachers, daycare providers, they have to get training every year to make sure that they're certified to take care of the little ones that they, educate.
Right.
So that can be costly, and we want to make sure that they're getting the best quality out there, and hopefully not having to spend an arm and a leg. So we work with Community Action Head Start to kind of plan and program with those, and we have a lot of partnerships with them. Actually, on a new training that's coming up in July, the 26th. His name is Dr. Ira Chasnoff, I think I'm saying it right. And it's about substance-exposed youth, and that's just something that a lot of daycare providers and educators are having to deal with more. And with our participation, Community Action, Family Adult Children First Council, the Department of Health, Adam H., Fairfield Community Health Center, we're able to provide that in the community, so we're excited about that. And
Is there a charge for that?
it's all free.
Can people still register? Or
Yes, definitely. There's on our website we've shared it, I believe, and also through Community Action, and it probably will be on social media a lot more in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. But you can definitely sign up for that. Yeah, anybody. You don't have to be a child care provider to come to it.
Oh, okay. Where's it going to be held again?
It is at, I think it is at Crossroads, but don't quote me
Okay.
on that.
Okay. No, that's all right. That's the if Andrea Spires were not with United Way, what would Andrea Spires be doing?
What would Andrea Spires be doing? Well, my previous job was at Integrated Services, and I really enjoyed that position there. I was a community behavioral health worker, so I worked with a lot of different kids and adults, and I really enjoyed that a lot. But this United Way just gave me a new opportunity to kind of do that on a bigger scope.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
They're lucky to have you.
Well, thank you. I'm excited that I'm here.
They're lucky when you look at the United Way, and I'm sure that you walk into Scott's office and say, "Hey, why don't we do this?"
Yeah.
What's Scott say?
You know what? He's open to a lot of things. He really wants to kind of, be open and willing to what the community wants and needs, because that's what United Way is for. It's not about what I want, what he wants. It's about meeting the needs of the community.
When you go about your job, do you call other counties and steal ideas? Or?
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of that and spoke with a few different community impact directors or different people that run the tax
Sure.
program in other counties and try to learn from them. I know Scott and Beth do that a lot as well, and we're lucky that United Ways work together and try to do the best that they can do together.
Well, and the allocations, when do they start? Do they start January 1st or they
Yeah,
start
so we're on a
July?
fiscal year,
Okay.
starting July 1st. So they are going to be coming out very, very soon. And all of our agencies are going to get those checks and be able to provide the services here throughout the community.
That's we talked about just looking in the future and expanding, and let's just, for one day, Andrea Spires is in charge of Fairfield County
Oh
United
my, I don't
Way,
know,
yeah.
that might be scary.
We've got, budget's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was one thing that Andrea would say, gee, why don't we do this?
What would I want to do? Oh gosh. Well, you know what? Kids are really my passion, so it would be something with kind of somehow connecting more services to kids. I don't know.
Sure.
We're really working with our Dolly's Imagination Library and making sure all kids throughout.
Talk a little bit about that. What exactly is that?
Yeah, so that is Dolly Parton has a foundation. It's called Dolly Parton's Imagination Library that we work with, and right now about 900 kids throughout the county get a book in the mail once a month. So it's kids from 0 to 5, and it's to really encourage parents to read to their kids.
Sure.
Because obviously we all know that reading correlates with higher success in school and beyond school, so we want to make sure that kids are being read to every day. There's a really great, our governor I think has signed into the budget for the next year to try to expand that even more, so we're looking into that to see if there's some funds that we can secure to maybe expand it even more, because I think I was looking, the last census it was about 6% of the population is under the age of 5. So, if we can capture
kidding.
more of them, then we're going to just make sure that our kids are successful.
When Andrea Spires isn't working 60 hours a week, that's, Scott, you hear that?
Yeah, 60 hours, right, yeah.
What do we like to do?
What do I like to do? Oh, goodness. I just like to do a lot of things. I'm really involved with Young Professionals of Lancaster. So
Talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah. So I really enjoy it. It's a group, about 5 of us on the committee, and we have power breakfast throughout the year. Where we have someone who's a seasoned veteran in their field and kind of come in and talk about how they got there, what their passions are, just some advice for us being younger people in our careers and how to work towards what we want in our life. So we really love those. They're really, really inspirational and kind of give us a lot of good ideas.
Now, can anybody join that, or is there a certain age limit, or?
So we get that question a lot
Yeah,
lately,
I
actually.
just wondered,
So
that's all.
young professionals, we don't really have like a strict age limit.
Uh-huh.
Typically it's under 40, but you know what? If anybody, we're open. The door's open. So if anybody wants to come to them, we're definitely open to that. So our next one I think is July 30th, and we host those at Keller Market House, which is really nice.
Okay.
It's a really great community space there, and they allow us to use that
Oh,
for
yeah.
free. And we also usually have sponsors that provide breakfast, so everybody gets a free breakfast.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We also have 2 lunch and learns throughout the year, or it's kind of the same thing, but it's usually a little more honed in topic that someone comes and speaks about. For example, Travis Markwood spoke about being on boards and kind of get more involved in a different way.
Yeah. What else does Andrea like to do?
What else do I like to do?
do?
I like
Hiking, biking.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to work out. I'm a member of the Y, so I'm involved with Zumba. I really like to Zumba.
I think I was at the Lancaster Trade Show at the fairgrounds.
You were.
I was watching you guys.
We were dancing it up, that's for
I
sure.
could. Yeah, you were dancing it up, and I kept thinking it was a completely different program.
Yeah,
but
Zumba. It's fun. You should come try it out.
I wouldn't make it 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a fun class. It's you don't have to be a good dancer to do. It just get you moving and get you healthy, and it's fun. So
Wow.
yeah, I like to walk my dogs. I like to hang out with my family. I've got a really big family here in Lancaster,
Oh,
so they keep me really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff going on in the Lancaster area. When again we talk about growth and opportunity and those things, what do you want to do? I mean, I know you're doing what you want to do right now, but is there down there? You talked about working with kids. And you talked about some other things. What?
I love Lancaster. I just want everyone to realize how lucky we are to be in Lancaster and have all of the opportunities and the community involvement and activities. Like Friday night bandstand,
Right.
our festival, so many things that are, a lot of them are free that we can just go out and do throughout the summer. my goal is just to people realize how lucky we are and just enjoy it.
Sure.
And, try to take care of what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah.
had Mike Tharp on last week, and he talked a
Oh,
lot
yeah?
about all the different activities that were going on.
Absolutely.
So, any suggestions to people who say, I'm not going to donate to United Way?
Well, I think a lot of people just need to do their research about the United Way. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what we do and kind of who we are. So it may be true about another United Way, or it may be not true at all. But each of the United Ways has their own volunteer board and have their own rules and their own things that they support. So I think if people would look into it and realize that we support a lot of programs that really help our community, then they might be more willing to make a donation.
Absolutely.
Any size donation makes a huge difference. $5, $10, it doesn't have to be much.
Right. When the board, who's the president of the board?
Lou Ann Snyder is our president currently,
All right.
at Fairfield National Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Along with the board, they're the ones that do the budget, they're the ones that decide who gets what money.
Yes.
Is that ever been, well, you've only been there a year though.
Yeah, so not even a year,
Because I'm sure there are agencies that apply all the time, but there's only so much money to go around.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's things that we have to say no to.
Yeah.
Or it might even be agencies that do get funding, but they have asked for more funding for a different type of program, and this past year that's been the case, that we had to only support the current programs that we have rather than expanding it, just because we've got to make sure that we're financially stable, because if we're not financially stable, we're not going to be able to continue to fund down the road.
There's an event coming up September 10th, Community Care Day.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Community Care Day is one of our biggest events. I think we last year had over 400 people participate.
Wow.
Yeah, so many people are just involved and willing to make a difference that day. So it starts off with a breakfast at Crossroads, just to kind of thank everybody for being there. It's the start of our campaign. It's kind of our kickoff. And then everybody goes out to a community project. So it could be at the dog shelter, it could be at the Y, it could be at some of the schools, some of the other nonprofits. Any type of project that needs done, we try to get a group together and take care of it that day. I think last year we even had so many people that we had to start begging for projects. We had too many people, which doesn't always happen that way. Usually it's the other way around.
Well, it's because I know Bob Competti talked about he wanted to pull weeds, and we were trying to get him someplace where he could pull weeds.
Well, I'm sure there's always somewhere to pull weeds, right?
There's plenty of places that you could do it, but again, we just have a few minutes left, but just in general, your view of the United Way. I know you work there.
Yeah.
But were you involved with it before?
So I was involved a little bit before. I had volunteered for the Career Closet, which is our free closet for women to come in and get professional clothing, like if they have an interview or a new job, something like that. So I had done that for quite a while. I'd been involved with Community Care Day, worked at organizations that had a campaign and participated with that. But I didn't really know a ton about it. I mean, I knew people that worked there and kind of the gist of what they did, but I didn't realize how many people it was affecting. Hundreds and thousands of people that are being supported by the United Way. So it's really cool to kind of learn more and more about it every day.
Well, Andrea, it's been great having you on and talking about United Way. And we'll have you back on before September 10th so we can talk a bit more about Community Day.
Great.
And a couple other things. But I know you've done some traveling.
I have.
Talk a little bit, because you've gone a couple places.
Yeah, so I didn't think I was really a world traveler, but I feel like I'm getting there maybe a little bit at a time. A lot of it due in part to my friend Jenny Chen, which I think you remember her from high school and tennis and everything. So she is a really big traveler, and she got married a couple years ago in South Africa. So, it was a pretty crazy trip. Like, I would never have thought I'm going to South Africa, but I definitely did.
That is fantastic. So, how long did it take?
So, I'm trying to remember. I think it was 12 to 15 hours to get there on a plane. We flew from Columbus to Atlanta, and Atlanta to Johannesburg, South Africa. And so we spent a few days there. We went to on a safari and got to see lots of wild animals. Got to pet some baby lions and some cheetahs. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
And then we flew 2 more hours to Cape Town, South Africa,
Okay.
which is beautiful. So if you ever get a chance, I definitely recommend Cape Town.
Is it really nice?
It's super nice. It's very, you just, mountains and water, what more can you ask for?
Again, we appreciate you coming on.
Perfect, thanks for having me.
Andrea Spires, the Director of Community Impact for the United Way, has been our guest today. And remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.